get everything done, from opening purchase orders to updating bank details in the language that you speak. But much more important than that, we're beginning to put a lot closer to business processes, harmonizing the intelligence layer with the process layer to become one. And we do this through use cases embedded in where work gets done, business applications. Today, more than 300 are capable and ready for consumption, and we're scaling at an exponential pace. Every 6 months, as you know, is when we double the pace in the AI world, but we're pretty much doing the same. So you can expect 400 cases by the end of the year and probably 800 by next summer. So let's take a look at what it means to work in such a space. Here's from our document AI. And from this part, you see Joule, first. Joule is our agentic co-pilot that runs across all our cloud applications. Joule makes AI the new UI, understands who you are, can ask you questions, or you can even go into hiring people, for instance, here. Notice how it's generating the UI on the fly, creating the action buttons, particular to this hiring. Right now, it knows who's in my team, and I just adjust my team details, and I can quickly set up a new position and kick off a workflow in our HR module. And Joule works across all of our applications. It could also be specifically in some of our functional elements, like our procurement part. This is from Ariba. What I'm doing here is essentially putting in a large Excel sheet. I want to create a procurement event for mobile phones. It's automatically creating all the categories. It's automatically creating the text for the RFQ and even suggesting the relevant vendors for this procurement event. It's just buttons that appear as they should. My user doesn't even care, it's AI, but automatically helps them move the game. Or it could be in analytics. AI for analytics are really set to change the game for most people. No longer having to find reports, I can just ask Joule in our analytical scenario, what are the open outstanding payments and how do they look? I get a quick answer, maybe that's enough, or maybe I want to put that graph and put it in our business data cloud for immediate future consumption. And of course, all of this works because we have trust. Trust is the vector of AI, in particular when we talk about business AI adoption. Answering for the more complex questions require that we understand the context of the business way. So let's say I need to resolve a dispute. Resolving a dispute means I need to understand what the dispute is, what orders are, what open communications have been, and what really has been delivered. And to make sure we're not just getting a beautiful answer leveraging a generic AI tool, but a wrong one, to get a specifically right answer, we got to connect it to the data. And this is where the knowledge graph plays a hugely important role. The knowledge graph is the secret sauce that we've developed that maps out all the data. That's, by the way, 7.3 million data objects and more than 450,000 tables in the universe. That tells you how things like orders, customers are all related. And we use this for grounding in our technology, together with our business data cloud, so that the AI model can decipher and reduce hallucination close to zero in a RAG-like architecture, as well as increase the reuse, which is really important over time, because as you know, nothing's free in this world, and we don't want to be too generous with our tokens. So that was the immediate opening stages. As you know, and as was talked about on this stage, we're evolving our organizations. From humans working with tools and typewriters to humans working with computers and mobile phones, from Homo sapiens to Homo connexus, we're about to say welcome to your new colleague, the Auto Sapiens. Auto Sapiens are colleagues that have this agentic-like behavior. We can give them a higher level task and they will go on their own, and yet they are adaptable. Very big difference to the RPA tools of the past that merely automate existing workflows. They can adapt on the fly. And yet they have this human, amicable, archaic-like feeling, almost a bit eerie that you can befriend them. So as we introduce these into our workforce, we need some levels of control. We need to be able to scale in a responsible way. So inspired by Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, I believe we need these 3 similar laws for AI agents that was also popularized by researchers. And the first law is pretty simple. We need to make sure when we introduce these, we must endure. Self-evolved agents cannot break anything. They cannot break, they have to make sure that if they're introduced into a process or into an enterprise, they must not break anything. Safety must come first, and it must involve all other laws and other principles. Secondly, we must make sure that they excel. We cannot introduce new complexity unless there's a business benefit. They must improve the business process or the domain that they're working within. And lastly, we must be sure that they evolve. The whole point is that they not only excel and improve, but they continuously, by their mere use, improve the business process and make it better and more intelligent. And so we use these three lighthouses in our development and how we introduce this technology to the world. Because our vision in SAP is pretty simple. We want to deliver a world-class level of automation and intelligent enterprises. And we'll do it in those three steps. Firstly, by introducing a set of pre-built agents to the world, where we are in full control of the business process, the grounding, the security, so we can make sure